Hello, I am back once again. I know it's been a while, and I've been having a lot of things go through my mind as in terms of what I wanted to present to you, and so many things, so much is going on. And I've been kind of conflicted in terms of how to present it and even what to focus on, and should I break it up into different segments or should I just present it all at one time? So that's why I've been kind of putting off doing a video. I'm still not really sure on it, but I did at least decide to do this video on dispelling some myths, some New Age myths. As you probably know, if you have been following what's been going on in our world for any length of time, that the powers that shouldn't be try to manipulate what we think and what we see. They try and manipulate our perception of reality, and the way they do that is by infiltrating every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives they have a voice in. And so they have usurped just about everything. And if you have the eyes to see, you can see where they've done that. So one of the places that they've done it is in the New Age movement, and they've totally turned around the meaning of several different sayings that people unfortunately misunderstand, and they're at a 180-degree divergence from the truthful meaning of the saying. And it does a disservice to the person, the people, the unsuspecting, shall we say, who don't realize that. And it's instead of serving them, it's like doing just the opposite. It's holding them down. And that is kind of what they do. In all religions, in all aspects of philosophy, history, everything that they get their little tentacles into, they poison, like our food and water and air, our minds, from every institutionalized kind of societal structure that we have. So anyway, there's so let's go down the line. Let's take the first one. What is it? That which you resist persists. Let's have a look at that. That which you persist. That which you resist persists. Now, if you are, usually that saying is attributed to if you look at something that's going on in the world, you shouldn't really do that, because then that means you're resisting, and if you resist it, it's only going to persist. So look away. Don't look at that, because you're only going to make it worse by looking at it. Well, wouldn't it be great if you were like the biggest criminal on earth, raping and pillaging people all over the planet, and even in your own country, stealing from them from every angle, but they may not know about it, you know, and if they like see material about it, and it's like, no, don't resist it, because if you do, it'll persist. It's like, yeah, don't stop us. We're don't stop us. Let us just run rampant. Is basically the plan there. So take this saying, that which you resist persists. Well, how about looking at it this way? If you resist looking at it, it will persist. It's not that you resist the thing and then it'll persist. It's if you resist looking at the thing, learning from it, and doing something about it, then it won't persist. You see how they just kind of turn it over 180 degrees. They just go kind of like a martial arts, you know, kind of deal. You know, that which you resist persists. So the truth of it is, if you resist giving your attention to it in order to change it and take a wrong and make a right, then it's not going to persist. Okay, and then that leads us into another saying about what you give your attention to. You only, you know, make it stronger. Again, it's pretty much the same thing. If you give your attention to something, okay, there's two ways of looking at it. You know, if you take the love on one side and the fear on the other side, let's do that kind of dichotomy there. If you look at something and all you do is go, oh my God, I'm so scared, I'm so scared. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, and fret about it, and and feel in agony. Yeah, well, you know, that's not going to do anything for anybody. That's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do any good for the thing, the people that are suffering because of the thing. And, you know, it's not going to change anything. But that's not what you do. That's being in the little self. That's being in the fear. And you see, the fear is not the information. The fear is the person who reacts to it that way. That person's in fear, and that person says, no, I can't look at that. I have to focus on love and light, love and light. You know, well, you know, if you were truly love and light, first of all, you wouldn't have a fear reaction to the information. If you were truly love and light, that information would make you feel angry and need to respond to make it right, because you're hurting these people and we have to stop it. It's a wrong, and we have to make right action. We have to make it right action. We can't allow that. That's being in your love. If you love, that's what you're thinking. You're not thinking about, oh, me, poor me. Oh, what's this going to do? This is going to make me vibrate lower, and I can't have that, and it's all about me, you know. then you're still in the ego. It's not about enlightenment at all. And again, the fear is not the information. The fear is somebody's reaction to that information. So if you truly mean to be love, then have a love reaction. Do something about it. Don't let it be that way. Protect the people. Protect us. Protect the people who are suffering from the harm and the wrongdoing. You know, in whatever way that you feel that you can. So, by doing so, by giving it your attention in that way, you are not strengthening it at all. But that's what those who are doing it would want you to think, so that, you know, oh, look away. Just go on, you know, don't do that. It's going to be harmful to you to pay attention to it. Just, you know, don't. Just look away. And then the train keeps rolling on down the track. Okay. Anger. Get angry. If you see an injustice in the world, get angry. It's not it's not unspiritual, if that's a word, to get angry. Now, there's a difference between being an angry person and just being an angry person, and being angry, just that would be the definition of your personality, more or less, you know, and you just are in anger about anything and everything, you know. You take offense at everything. You're just angry at the world. You're angry at anybody, you know. No, that kind of anger, of course not. I mean, I don't think anybody has to tell anybody that. That's probably pretty much a easily observed idea. But when you see an injustice being carried out in the world, when you see people being hurt, and you see wrong things going on, you see people's freedoms being taken away and usurped and, whatever. You know what I'm talking about if you've been paying attention to what's going on. You should be angry. Anger is a normal human response. It comes with the body. It comes with the emotions. And it's not a negative thing as long as it is used the way it is meant to be used, and that is as a motivator. If you get angry, you're motivated. That's energy. It builds energy in the body so that you are motivated to do the right thing, to respond in right action. Call to action. It calls for proper response. I don't know, doesn't seem to be focusing very well. So those are just a few myths that I wanted to kind of dispel, because they're just really quite the opposite. They're taken as meaning quite the opposite of what their true meaning is. And I think they're very important ideas to get across. Another way of looking at it, that, I see people swinging, they're in their fear, and they've got to, I've got to be love and light. Well, look at this over here. Oh, I can't take it anymore. Love and light, and they're swinging on this pendulum. And I say, be the fulcrum. be at the fulcrum. You're not swinging either way. You are love and light. You're not in fear. You are able to look at any situation and respond from the strength and the foundation of your love, of who you really are, the bigger you, without feeling fearful. That's where your strength comes from. When you truly realize who you are, you have a strength that you're just not afraid. You're not fearful of information. You want the information because you want to do something to help make the world a better place. So I hope that helps. I'm thinking about going live tomorrow, Sunday, which would be, what's the date? Sunday the 7th. Today's April the 6th. It's a Saturday. And I think I'm going to go live, and we can talk about these things, and there's a few other things, we can go in all kinds of different directions. About what can we do? What can we do? Because I want to talk about that, because I think it's so important for us to understand that we're the ones who have the power. And these belief systems are designed to take that power away from us. But we have the power. The power is in our hands. Because when you see what's going on in the world, it's not the Rothschilds out there and the Rockefellers out there carrying on, they're not out there with their AK-47s shooting up innocent people and dropping, killing people at a wedding party with drone bombing, and they're not the ones doing the shootings that are designed to keep people in fear. They're not the ones doing the, food, poisoning the food and actually putting the stuff in the food and, actually doing the commercial production of that food. They're not the ones doing the actual harm that we all complain about. It's not them. It's us. It's everyday people going to their jobs doing this stuff. So what does that mean? When you really see that big picture, all it means is, well, all we have to do is stop doing those things. We just have to stop doing those things. It's not even something we have to do. It's something we have to stop doing. And so, and then the little me, the response to that is, oh, well, I got to put food on my table. I got to feed my family and I got to pay the rent. Well, yes, of course, that's true. But then again, can you figure out another way to make a living, maybe? Is it worth it, maybe, for your kids to grow up in a world where they're not a total totalitarian slave? Where they can be healthy? Where they can thrive, where they can be free? Is that not a little bit more important? Maybe enough to try and figure out another way to make a living? Maybe even if you have to downsize a little bit? So it comes down to the question, who are you? Because that's really the most fundamental question we have to answer. Who are you? What do you stand for? Why are you here? What are you doing? Who are you serving? Is it really about your family, or is it about your own fear? Because if one person stands up to this, they get hammered. That. We see it all the time. They get either economically crushed, thrown in jail, or even killed. Because they kill with impunity all the time. We see it. We just kind of ignore it, don't we? Because we don't know what to do. We have to stop giving them power, and that's how we give them power. By working for them. It's like like the people who did Nazi Germany. Well, it's just my job. I have to do this. I have to follow orders. Really? So we're pretty much down to that now, and these are things that we have to think about. So what does it mean to really be a spiritual person? Is spirituality not, are we not living in a spiritual world here? We don't have to die to get to a spiritual world. We don't have to only think of where we came from was the spiritual world. It's all the spiritual world. It's all the spiritual world. The only problem is well, here and probably a few other places too, spirituality can be dark or light. And so you have to make your choice. And you have to consider the consequences. And basically you have to be conscious. You have to be consciously aware of the choices that you're making and the consequences of those choices and how it's going to impact everything else. And so now we see so much of so much information not even available any longer. When you do a search for a YouTube video, you'll find that all you get is the mainstream press, and you don't get any of the independent coverage that you used to see. You're not going to find it anymore. Or, you might find it, but you're going to have to look really hard or go specifically to their own site. And and hope that those videos haven't been taken down from that site. So it's really getting down to the wire, folks. It really is. You know, I mean, I've been on this journey really pretty much since the 70s. And I remember listening to one of my favorite radio hosts, all night radio, you know, where it was a public service kind of show where you get to actually talk about real stuff. And I remember him saying, and this was back in, golly, 70s, 80s, how bad does it have to get for people to stand up? How bad does it have to get? Well, it's getting pretty bad, people. It's getting pretty bad. And it's in our face. It's in our face. But, you know, I don't want you to feel forlorn or anything, because there's a lot of really good things happening too. The old world is dying. They know that. They're going all out. They're going all out. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to wake up and do our part. There's also another paradigm that's emerging. A new world is being built. So be part of that. Know what's going on. Become a part of that new world. And don't work for the people who want to basically kill us or profit from our slow demise as we go under, while they kind of, you know, just give us really expensive drugs on the way down, on the way out, for as long as possible, or, you know, whatever the case may be, right? Don't eat their poisoned food. Don't. Just don't. Don't eat their processed stuff. You know, don't try and get as nutrient rich as you can. Try and be as healthy as you can. Supplement. Find the supplements that are the most absorbable for your body. Greens, spirulina, you know, even if you just do that. So there is a lot we can do. I don't like to hear people say, well, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. We're the only ones who can do anything about it. But we have to share this information, and we have to help, you know, wake other people up. That's what we can do. We can not be fearful about it. You know, and when the day comes, if the day ever comes where we have enough people to just not go along and not perform the dirty deeds done dirt cheap for them, you know, if we don't allow ourselves to be used as cannon fodder any longer, and realize that that's pretty much what's been happening, if we don't encourage the youth to be used in that way as well. I mean, you know, just protect our borders, but don't go running around the world shooting everybody up and killing people and destroying their homes and their land because you think it somehow has to do with some sort of idea of freedom. You know? And it's not just the people doing that either. And you know, I mean, look at, I don't mean to put anyone down. I realize that people do that because they feel in their hearts they're doing the right thing. But they've been brainwashed to think that. And we can't continue to try to do that. We appreciate you. You did nothing wrong if you took part in any of that. No, you did nothing wrong if you went with the right idea in your heart because you didn't know any better. You were used. You were used and abused. and then too many suffer because of that, and it's a travesty that has to stop, and we have to stop encouraging young people to have to go through that even still. You know, if we need to protect our borders, we need to protect, if there's anybody crazy enough to actually militarily try to invade this country, of course we would have to rise to that occasion. You know, all right. You know, I can understand that, but I mean, it's just gone wild and out of hand and wrong. Absolutely wrong. Oh my gosh. The number of people who've been murdered is just outrageous. It's millions upon millions upon millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people slaughtered for no real reason at all. Just awful, awful, awful. And then the people that have been betrayed, their hearts and their well-meaning will have been betrayed to do those things, and they end up committing suicide because they can't deal with it. And you know, the more that we keep trying to make it look like something that's honorable and something that's, every young person, starry-eyed person should want to be, we can't do that. We can't be doing that to our kids. My God, who in their right mind would want to do that to young people? It's wrong. It's wrong. And anyone who has gone and suffered and believing they were serving us, thank you. I appreciate that. But you know, or maybe you don't, you weren't serving us. You were serving the people who are trying to kill us. Basically, slowly. The people who kill naturopathic doctors who find cures for diseases that they have a monopoly on, that doesn't cure anything but keeps you on long-term very expensive drug protocol. They're killing these people left and right. Those are the kind of people that you fighting for. That's just one example. I could go on. It's just one example. You saw the rapper Nipsey, who was just killed because he was doing a documentary on one of those independent doctors who actually was curing people from otherwise deadly diseases. Well, it wasn't enough that they killed the doctor himself, or the man providing the treatment himself. They had to kill the guy who was going to do a documentary on the guy's life because they don't want you to get that information. So we have to not work in jobs that serve these criminals. They're the biggest drug dealers on the planet. They're big into human trafficking, selling organs, ritual child abuse. And I don't even want to go into the depths of their depravement. Don't work for them. Don't work for those people. Don't do anything in any capacity that serves them. That is how you don't give them power. Okay, enough said. We can go live maybe, hopefully tomorrow, and have a real conversation. Talk to you later. Bye.